And we're live. Hey, y'all. It's me, Kaylin with Kayscrochethaven. And
me, Anjanette from AJ's Personal Touch, or you can just call me AJ.
yes, we are live tonight. We're going to talk about the history of crochet hooks. But we're going to give it a few minutes to let everyone join.
Yep. As you come in, let us know what's on your hook, what's in your cup. And I forgot to pick up what I was going to work on with my hook.
Well, I started the other sock to a pair of socks that I'm making.
Little crochet socks?
Yes.
I think if I have time to do anything, I'll just work on my knitting. When I'm done, I got to do some serious crocheting before I close my eyes tonight.
Yep.
I haven't worked on anything for 2 days.
I have sweet tea in my cup. That was the other thing I was going to say, too.
Oh, I have key lime soda water with tart cherry juice in it. But our daughters, my husband is sitting next to me, as you know, but they don't. So explain
Yes.
it. Our daughter's birthday is on the 29th.
Oh, awesome.
So I need to finish up her gift. Plus, I'm doing a quick tester project for somebody who needed help pretty quick. So her and I help each other. Her birthday's the 30th. I have appointments on the 29th. Wow. I will be done by the 29th. I know her birthday's the 30th. It's been that her whole entire life.
Hey, Lisa.
Hi, Lisa. My brain has just been thinking I need to be done by the 29th, so it's stuck in my head.
Right. Hey, Kalua.
Saying hi.
She said nope.
Say hi to
I
your
gotta go and get the other sock so I can see how many rows I did of gray. I'll be right back.
They can't see them. Hope you're having a good night, Lisa. Kalua, don't. That's my notes for the live. Stop it. She keeps trying to get the notes to pet her instead of letting me just pet her.
Well, I got Garfield over here on the right side of me. He's sitting in my...
Hello, Sanja.
Hey, Sanja.
Although, I've learned that it's not, it looks like they're trying to have whatever it is they're rubbing up against pet them, but that's not what it is. It's what I say, but it's not what it is.
Yeah.
That they're using their whiskers, which is their sensory. Plus down here, I guess they have sensory stuff.
Mm-hmm. They have scent glands there as well.
Yeah, so they're trying to scent the stuff around them, plus figure out what it is.
Yeah.
So I think after I use my computer for a while, she has to rescent it. Oh, baby. So just a reminder, Sanja, as you come in, let us know what's on your hook and what's in your cup.
Oh, Lisa says she feels like a truck hit her.
Oh, no.
Hello, Maritza.
Hello, Maritza. Welcome in. Welcome in. Kathy should be here soon. I talked to her a little bit ago.
Yeah.
Okay, now hurry up and turn around. You don't need to be showing that end.
No cat bits allowed on YouTube.
Oh, if they ever made that rule, I think I'd have to.
Well, you never know. YouTube is a funny thing.
Don't even say it, so they don't even think it.
She said, I'm making my sister a mile a minute Afghan and drinking some raspberry iced tea. That's what Sandra said.
Oh, yeah, Miss Kaylin, guess who's done with her shawl?
Who?
Sanja.
Oh, awesomeness. I'm nowhere near done because it's not big enough for me.
Well, she didn't have enough yarn for the next
Oh,
week.
yeah, you told me that the other day. I forgot.
The picture she sent me is beautiful. Ah, Kahlua, you guys stop doing that. She just made you guys really teeny tiny and small.
Lisa says,
Okay, there we
Sandra
go.
says to Lisa, I pray you feel better.
Since I have a touch screen, when she goes up and rubs against the top, she makes everything go small. The other day, she made everything disappear on me, and I'm like, "What did you do? Don't be doing that during a live, baby girl."
Sometimes I think I have a touch screen. I'll be touching my computer and it doesn't do anything. It doesn't. I'm serious. I actually did that earlier today.
Yeah, well, before I had this one, I used to do that. You just, you think because you do it on your phone.
Yeah, exactly. And
Do
Lisa
not
says,
bite.
thank you, Sandra.
She has this bad habit of biting lately, so I don't know if she's hurting or if she's just being honoring.
She's ornery.
Daddy says
Garfield
you're
bit
an
me on the
honor.
forehead the other day before yesterday, I think it was. Bit me
Ooh,
on.
Sanja's insurance approval came through, so surgery is on the 31st.
Okay. Kathy's here. She
Right,
says, hi,
Kathy.
everyone. Drinking sparkling water and working on my Lacy Days kimono.
Your Aunt Kathy's here. Oh, you're going to settle down now?
Oh, no, I get in trouble.
She's like, I can be ornery around my Aunt Kaylin, but Aunt Kathy gets her. I got to sit down.
Oh, no, stay. Set that aside a moment. And Kathy says, hi, Sandra, and then hope you feel better, Lisa.
And for anybody who came in after Kaylin already said, we are doing the history of crochet hooks today.
I think it's going to be a lot of fun because we have pictures to show, and we each have 3 pages that we're going to go off of, and we're both going to talk a little bit about each one. And Jeanette is going to start, though. She's got something she wants us to see about the hooks, and then we're going to officially start with the history of crochet hooks.
Actually, I'm going to say it's not a picture. So.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a picture. My
Okay.
bad. Misunderstanding by Kaylin, which is
And
not unusual.
I thought of something to maybe add to our history series. So when we're done, remind me.
Okay. Yeah, remind you. The one who has a bad memory. I'll remind you if I remember.
I don't know. I think we can be about equal on that memory thing here. Okay. So I am reading from, it's called Unraveling the Mystery, How to Identify Antique Crochet Hooks. And the reason I wanted to read this first is because it kind of tells you the things to look at. So when you see pictures and things later, and if anybody has an antique hook collection, this might help you with it. It's not what I thought it was. I thought this was going to tell me in this century they put pearls on their hooks or, different things like how to identify them. But I thought it might be of value if I read it before we start going over the other pages. So this is from flegT.info. So, and that's the website. Crochet hooks have gained immense popularity in recent years. Vintage treasures to the attention of collectors and enthusiasts alike. And why is this important? They say number one, explanation of popularity, glimpse into the past, the nostalgia, unique designs, and intricate details that are not found in modern hooks, and the historical significance. I say for history, personally, because as you guys know, we're enjoying this going down the history rabbit hole. So I think just looking at the different ones, for me, it's history, not
Yeah.
all the other stuff, but just history. Two, importance, identifying and authenticating antique crochet hooks. And then under the importance, she lists it in order of one, two, and three, or whoever wrote this, in the order of what they think the importance is. Number one is value, made with rare materials and exceptional craftsmanships. Informed decision on purchasing. Number two is preservation of history. It says, I would, wait a minute. Oh, I should have crossed it out. Sorry. Know how to tell the real thing or between the real thing or a reproduction, or if one has been, the real thing has been fixed because something was wrong with it, or they just made improvements on it.
Right.
And number three, deeper appreciation for their historical and cultural significance. It allows us to understand the evolution of the crochet hook and the art of crochet itself. Now, I ask you guys on this, is that the way that you would rank the order of the importance? Personally, I would change it.
Yeah.
So I would start with the preservation of history, then a deeper appreciation for their historical and cultural significance, and then I would go back up to importance.
Right. Yeah.
Itself, well, value. I meant not importance. It's all under importance. I looked at the wrong word. Sorry again. And then again, part of the deeper appreciation is enriching our knowledge and enjoyment of crochet just by knowing the difference of the hooks and where they came from. And then that's when I was supposed to ask if you agreed with how they were listed. Let me know if you think the way they listed it is correct, to go by value first, or if you agree with switching it around. I'm just curious.
Well, I think the most important would be the um the history on it,
Mm-hmm.
that would be more important to me.
Yeah, definitely more important to me. I mean, value is a thing if you have some, if you
Right.
happen to have some, you know, but I don't see it as the most important. I always see history as the most important.
Right, yeah. Even like with, like, say for instance, like baseball cards and stuff like that. Yeah, some of them are valuable, but it's the history on them too.
Hmm.
That's what I see it as.
Yeah, and usually the most historical, the rarest
Yeah.
are the ones that have more value. But with crochet hooks, that's not always the
No.
truth,
Right, yeah.
because some of the older ones are actually made cheaper. So it just depends. Sorry, my hood lid's on sideways, and
It'll
it
spill.
leaks then. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, it looks like everybody agrees.
Oh,
Welcome.
Niecy's here. Hi, Niecy.
So then there's the history of the crochet hooks. Crochet, popular craft, involves creating fabric with a hook and a yarn. And so the rich history dates back centuries. Understanding history helps to identify the crochet hooks. And then the origins, as we discussed last time, a couple months ago, about the history of crochet, are still the origins of crochet are still debated. They still don't know exactly when crochet first started. And you can go and watch our live from March to see a brief history of crochet.
Yes.
Different styles and designs of crochet hooks. Throughout history, crochet hooks have come in various styles and designs. 19th century, you get the long handles known as tapered hooks, and those were very popular. And then longer handles provided a comfortable grip and gave you better control while crafting. And then early 20th century, you get the ergonomic crochet hooks with rubber or plastic handles were introduced, providing increased comfort. Now, I looked up for myself real quick at this point, when did interchangeable hooks become popular? And I guess
Mhm.
I probably put the wrong wording because I really wanted to know when they started. But they became popular in the early 1920s. It says, but when we show you some of the older hooks, no, they were actually using interchangeable hooks a long time ago.
Yes, they were.
Um, by exploring history, we gained insight that is valuable into the evolution of the craft. And then characteristics of antique hooks. Number one is the materials used in antique crochet hooks. Common materials: bone, ivory, wood, and metal. And each material had its own characteristic. And then number two, the rarity of certain materials. Some materials are rarer than others. Ivory is very rare. But then it didn't go on and tell you the rest, but I figure bone's got to be kind of rare depending on like the type of bone and what animal you're taking it from, and if it's easy
Right.
to even get the bone. Um, and then the size and shape variations in antique crochet hooks. One, different sizes. Antique crochet hooks come in various sizes, each having its own purpose. Size determines thickness, otherwise known as gauge, which we all know that. Lace sizes, doilies, clothing sizes, and so on. Um, and again, the article didn't give specifics. So I have to tell you, it's really hard finding an article that tells specifics on antique crochet hooks.
Oh yeah.
Unique shapes and designs, wide range of shapes and sizes, some ergonomic handles, intricate carving and ornate patterns, and then provide to the aesthetic appeal and clues to the time period. Just about done. Decorative elements. Number one, there's carvings, engravings, and other designs often enhance the beauty of the hook and showcase skill and craftsmanship. Careful examination can provide insight into the time period and authenticity. Number two, identifying original to added decorations. Some antique hooks may be modified or repaired and can affect their value. Tips for identifying: seek an expert's opinion to help for any authentication on antique hooks. And then mistakes to avoid: assuming all antique hooks are valuable, overlooking reproduction of fake antique crochet hooks, neglecting to properly care for and preserve the antique crochet hook because they can be very delicate. Um, Antique crochet hooks are delicate and can be easily damaged. So
Of course,
that's,
they're old.
yeah, that's a whole bunch of stuff that I thought you guys might want to hear before we start getting into the rest. So there you go. And that article at the top of it, they didn't have pictures, but they had a video that I remember, I'm pretty sure that I watched. That was, well, actually, no, it's a newer one because it's in a new home, I think. It's Bag a Day talking about antique hooks. So I know I've seen a video of hers, but it was not after she had moved. So I thought that was kind of weird. So I don't know if she gave her permission for that to be on there or if they just, I got this. I decided to look for different web browsers when I was having a hard time finding what I was looking for. And they have a web browsers that is specifically for students and to find information if you're a student. And so that's where I found this page at. So again, I don't know if she gave her permission for her video to be up there, but I do know there's something that we can click when we put up our videos saying whether or not somebody can copy it or download it
Like,
or something like
she
that.
she might have like just put the link in there, like just shared the link.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Maybe they put the link in and it popped the whole thing up. I don't know. But there you go. And I've got more to say when it's my turn to. We each have a couple of pages. I don't know if I'm going to show the one or not, depending on what Kaylin shows on hers. And I think, actually, I know now she's frozen. So take a couple minutes and we will wait for Kaylin to come back. Let me message her real quick and let her know she's frozen in case she can't hear me. She probably realizes it by now. And there she goes. So I know she knows it by now. I don't have to tell her anything. So I hope everybody's having a good night, good evening, or early morning, probably for some of you. I hope it hasn't been too hot out for you today. I know myself, I've been inside preparing for this most of the day, so I didn't get outside like I have the last couple days.
It's been a lot cooler than like 10 degrees.
Yeah, my husband said it's about 10 degrees cooler than it was. Yeah, I figured that, Kaylin. She had just got it working right before we came up. I know ours has been, oh, the page is loading. I guess I should have just read it from there. I know my internet here has been messing up a little bit more, but we've had a ton of storms the last couple of weeks. So I think a lot of people, I know Ambi was having issues with hers the other night. It just seems to be the time for everybody to have issues because of all the different storms and things going on. Kathy says it's quite cool and windy here. The sun just came out about a half hour ago. Just came out and time for it to go down. I know I don't even know if it rained last night. It was supposed to rain last night around midnight. If it did, it was a very soft rain because I didn't hear it. I had gone outside to take care of the cats, I think around 11, and it felt a little bit like it might, but not quite like it was going to. So, but the day before, we got an unplanned downpour. Was it the day before, or maybe the day before that? I know there was a day that it did not say it was going to rain, and it just downpoured.
Well, it hasn't all week said it's going to rain. It's said pop-up showers all week.
Yeah. Actually, it was Monday because it was while I was, I forgot. It was when I was filming a video that will be out Friday morning with somebody. So, welcome back.
I had to come back on my phone. I don't know how to share from my phone, but I'll figure it out. Maybe I'll just read from my computer and maybe figure out how to share from my phone.
You want to send me the link and I can share it?
Yeah, I can do that. All right, let me
Ooh, Kathy had a tornado about 15 miles from her last night.
see. We got post comment layout. Yeah, I don't think you can share from your phone because I don't see it. I have post a comment, layout, private chat, stream info, and then settings. That's all.
Well, I know that somehow it's okay, Lisa. Thank you for coming. Watch the replay if you want to later.
Thank you for coming, Lisa.
I think Terry shares from her phone, but I don't know how she. Or no, she's on her old laptop. I forgot.
Okay. Well, I can read from my computer, or I can get AJ to share it for me. How do y'all want to do it? Let me know.
Well, you've got pictures on them, right?
Only on one.
Only on one?
Actually, maybe on the flat hooks too. Yeah, I have pictures on those two. I'll just send you the links.
Okay.
Oh, no, I don't know what I just did. Not what I wanted to do.
Because then you can read whatever you want to while they're looking at the picture.
Yeah.
Hope you feel better, Lisa, if you happen to still be here, but I have a feeling you left lickety split.
Yeah. It's not going to work either because apparently my Wi-Fi is off on my computer completely. I can't get it to load. So since it's already loaded, I'm just going to read a little bit from each page. And then if it comes up before we end it, I will share it from there.
Okay.
The first page that I got to is from Nadia at Yarn Utopia. If you don't know her backstory, you should look into it. But she says the history of the crochet hook is quite fascinating. Crochet itself is believed to have originated in the 16th century in Europe. However, the exact origin of the crochet hook is a bit unclear. This or that makes the art more mysterious. And then she says, that there is evidence of possibly having roots in early China and Arabia. And then she talks about how her dad makes what is that? What is ergonomic? That's what he does those around the hook. But she also talks about how hooks were likely made from simple materials such as bone, wood, and even ivory. These early hooks were handmade and varied in size and shape. Over time, as crochet became more popular, hooks started to be produced on a larger scale with different materials such as metal. We have been searching for vintage hooks or trying to produce some of our own. And then that's when she shows the pictures. Let's see. In the 19th century, steel hooks became particularly popular due to their durability. They didn't break or wear down as easily. I've actually seen broken metal hooks. And then she shows a few of
these still light crochet hooks. And then those just look like still hooks. In the modern era, crochet hooks are available in a wide variety, which is now including plastic and aluminum and bamboo. I've tried to use the bamboo hooks. They make a noise that.
Okay, I found the page.
Okay, well, share it and I'll make it where it comes up.
And I may have found the other one. I just need to know the title.
Okay.
Let me know what picture you want me to move it to.
Okay, well, you can just scroll down slowly while I'm still reading so that.
Okay, it's there waiting for you.
I don't see it. Oh, there it is. And I'm gonna
I'll start at the top.
no, let's do that one. All right, she is showing the Yarny. Then she says crochet hooks have evolved alongside the art of crochet itself, allowing people to create beautiful and intricate designs with ease. Whether you're a beginner or an experienced crocheter, having a good crochet hook is essential for bringing your creative ideas to life. And those were the ones I was like, those just look like still hooks.
Those are so tiny.
I know, very tiny.
There we go, and that's it.
That's the end of that one. All right. And then the next one is Barbara Knits Again.
Yeah, but is it knitting now and then fascinating crochet hooks, or is it making bone knitting needles?
No, the
Oh,
first.
that's knitting, duh. Excuse me. Sorry. If I would have read the title.
It's okay.
This is the one with the fun ones.
Yes. And the pictures on this one are going to be similar to what you see on AJ's, but AJ's is much better. But we both wanted to show both pictures. Okay, here is the page that I will be reading. Yeah.
I'll show the title so they can see there.
Yeah. All right. She says, I know that for most people, the word fascinating and crochet hooks don't naturally go together, but bear with me. Yes, please do, because they are fascinating. Early crochet hook designs are very, very, very varied. The handle gives a lot of potential for decoration. Yes, we know that because people still to this day make crochet handles to go on the hook. Which she says she's not a crocheter except very occasionally. So she does more knitting, which, Barbara Knits Again, that would tell you. But she does find it. Let's see, last week at our usual Thursday morning knitting session, a friend brought several of these things. So she actually got to see those in person.
That would be cool.
Yes, that would be very cool. She said many of these hooks are from late 19th or early 20th century. Over here. Let's see. At first is a 19th century hook, rather rusty, and early steel hooks are liable to be. The patent number on there is 4439. That's one. It's a Nancy Naring. Is that how you say that? Or that's her friend? Or no. Okay, I don't know who that is, but she dates it as an 1888 hook. And then she goes on to show the other ones. They attribute the hook to John Shrimpton and Son. Okay, I guess those may be the makers of these hooks. That one is a tubular sheath. It has and it's brass on the case. The next one, the hooks look like a flower-shaped cylinder so that it can be retracted into the handle. Oh, that would be cool. But there's nothing to hold the slider place when the hook is in use, so this may not have been a very successful design. I cannot talk today, y'all.
You're going in and out a little bit too, just letting you know.
It's probably because it's on my phone and it's like retarded. The next, with the handle made from a loop of a wire, is a hook, another hook by Shrimpton. The two hooks of different sizes can pivot in the middle. The brass slider can be moved to the left to hold the hook that's not being used within the handle. And then this one says the design is in 1911. They look identical, but one is called the Evelyn and the Eclipse. They are a flattened version of the first hook I described. There's a sheath that either fits over the hook or on the handle. It would be so cool to see all these, though, in person.
Mm-hmm.
Then there are 3 hooks in the donation that aren't steel. 2 are bone and in the same design. One of them is marked Bates, so that could be a Susan Bates right there.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, I think the different colors are to show the size of the hook. And then finally, she says that she thinks that one is ivory.
Looks like it.
Yeah, it does. And it's really shiny and pretty. But you know how they get ivory.
Mm-hmm.
So she says, altogether, it's a diverse and fascinating collection just by itself. And her name is Debbie. Even though it's on Barbara Knits Again. All right. The last one is the loopholes.
Oh, I forgot there was another one. Sorry.
This one's the last one, and this one is really cool too. I chose this one because it's the flat hooks, and if y'all follow Fiber Spider, he actually has a set that are flat hooks. And
so I'm sorry. Where do I find these hooks out for you?
Loopholes.blog is what it says.
Okay, thank you.
But he had a set and he actually crocheted with them. And he said that because he's a knife holder, that he feels like those are better suited for the pencil holder. And I just thought.
What's the name of it again?
The blog or
the actual page?
It says loopholes.blog and then it says /20/04
2020-04 Neolithic flat hooks.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You guys know us. We wing it when we can.
Yeah, we do. And we try to make the best of it as we're winging it. We gotta throw something in there every once in a while, keep y'all on y'all's toes.
Well, if it's not my laptop, it's yours. So.
All right, look at those pictures.
Wow.
They make me think of knives more than crochet hooks.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and this one says that this is by Irene. I can't say names. It actually is Irina, not Irene. There's an A there. And it was published in 1991. Then it's in a different language. But it's The History of Knitting Before Mass Production. It also includes section heading called Knitwear in the Early Middle Ages. But that's not what we're talking about. We're going to talk about these flat hooks here. All right. This illustrates a dozen flat hooks made of bone or horn that were recovered from the 11th and 12th century archaeological sites in Poland.
Wow.
Yeah. All right. Keep going down and then you'll see it. Despite their explicit labeling as crochet hooks and the last name of Irina, acceptance of the ascription, it might be tempting to regard those objects as having been intended for other purposes. And you can see the tiny hook on the very end over there.
Teeny tiny.
Teeny tiny, yes, very. I tried
try to make it bigger.
Okay. I tried a couple of times using small, like thread and a small hook, and I felt so giant. So I don't know how people use those tiny things all the time.
I have like a 0-0 hook.
Oh.
And that's tiny. It doesn't look like it got any bigger, but I made it bigger.
It did go bigger, but it looks like it went back.
Okay.
They all resemble the ones shown in the drawing closely enough for there to be no way to dismiss the possibility of a functional parallel other than the circular agreement that since evidence of a flat hook crochet does not appear until the 18th century. And that really didn't make sense to me, but I get the concept. And then the next picture down underneath that is Polish hooks display the same design feature, and the evidence of crochet that Irina saw in them cannot be shrugged off. So those, it's evidence that they are crochet hooks, no matter what they look like. And those are on display at the National Museum of Denmark. Now the two on the left, they don't actually, the 1, 2, 3, 4 on the top left, they really don't. They have too many notches, in my opinion. But it's still cool. They could have used those for something else to do with crochet, or even
or they used each different notch. Looks like it could be a different size, so they got 3 in 1.
Yeah, that's true too. But those
are 1, 2, 3, 5 on that one.
Yeah, there's a lot on the one. But yeah, that would make it even cooler.
But that would be hard to work with. You would keep snagging your.
Oh yeah, it says these hooks predate the recognition or recognized advent of the flat hook crochet. I think this is backwards. Flat crochet hook. I think that's why I'm struggling here. By the interval that eclipsed the difference between the 11th and the 18th centuries. They were recovered by that site right there in Denmark. I'm not going to try and mispronounce any of these names.
Meglamos?
Yeah, we'll go with that. Which dates from 19,000 to 6,000 BC.
9,000, huh?
Oh, well, yeah. What did I say? I don't know.
You said 19.
Oh, yeah. Okay. 9,000 to 6,000 BCE. The hooks are assumed to be hunting implements, but notwithstanding the leap of or in age. How do you say it?
Prodigious.
Prodigious.
It's hard to say
Yeah.
for me too.
Kaylin is bad at pronouncing.
Prodigious. Duh.
Yeah. But it should be noted that the oldest archaeologically recovered fragments of fabric come from the Nahal. Yeah,
Nahal humor.
yeah, near the Red Sea, which dates 7000 BCE. I was hoping to actually see ones similar to the ones that Fiber Spider had, but they don't show those. So these are the old ones, and I guess what he has is the more modern ones. And then it goes on to talk about the earliest sewing needle and stuff like that. So I'm going to let Anjanette have it now. But I thought that those pictures were awesome on that too.
Okay. Okay. I know for sure I'm going to share the one, and then we'll go back and see if we have time for the other.
We can make time.
Well, the one doesn't have as much information as the other one.
Oh, yeah.
The first one I'm going to do is from pieceworksmagazine.com, and it's called the Mid-19th Century British Crochet Hooks. And I need to bring that up. There's that one. Share screen. Okay. The only thing I don't like about sharing is you got to go back and forth to figure out
Where you're at, yes.
Yeah. Does that look centered pretty decent? Yes, no, maybe.
I said yeah.
Oh. It must have eaten it like it does sometimes when you talk. Okay. The back and forth, that is, of the sound.
I understand.
Okay. So I have a combination of notes and opening up my phone to make sure I got everything. There we go. So, early British steel crochet hooks were manufactured from steel wire
Can y'all still hear me?
I don't know, maybe show that a little bit more down.
Hold on. You're breaking up really bad, Anjanette. Oh, I'm by myself. And I'm really close. I'm so sorry, y'all. I got up to go get my headphones to see if that would help y'all. And I can't message back because if I leave this screen, y'all won't see me. Oh. Yeah, she was freezing. She just texted me. Kathy, can you text her and tell her, yes, she froze and she's no longer up here? I don't want to leave because, or I don't want to try and answer it because I don't want it to mess me up. But hello to everyone who has come in. Flower Tammy, Nana Michelle. It's been a long time since I've seen Nana Michelle. But I went to go get my headphones to see if that would help y'all hear me better.
Can y'all hear me better? But when I was coming back, it sounded like she stopped talking, and then I was like, wait, no. I think she's now having the technical difficulties like I am. I don't know what's wrong with my internet. Sounds good. Thank you, Tammy, for letting me know. Well, since I'm by myself, Tammy, how you been? It's been a while since I saw you too. Which I don't get on YouTube much anymore. I try to make videos, but it just doesn't happen sometimes. But I don't get to get in the YouTube streets because I'm working all the time. I had been helping my friend, so I was working 2 jobs, and then the winter hit, and her job is more of the summertime stuff because she does the inflatable slides. And so when winter came, not very many went out, so I stopped working with her and went back full time at my other job. Tammy says, I'm good. I understand life happens. Yeah, exactly. So I work all the time now, which I mean, I work all the time anyways, but I've got to time management, you know, time management is not on my side. I really wanted y'all to see her hooks because, or the hooks that she found because hers were cooler than the ones I found, to be honest. And that's why I don't like going live on my phone. See, her not being here, I can't answer her text because I might kick myself off. And then I had to go and get this phone stand, and it's not as tall as my computer is. So I feel like y'all are looking at me different. It'll be okay. Was someone texting her? No, she was oh yeah, Kathy. I had asked Kathy to text her to let her know that I didn't want to respond because I didn't want to lose. Okay, she said she is rebooting, so hopefully it'll be just a few minutes for her. Which I may need to go do that to my internet, which is what I did before, but then it still cut out. I will chat here while I reboot. Okay. There is AJ at AJ's Personal Touch. But the hook she had, like she said in the beginning, when she was talking about, I don't have StreamYard on my phone. All you got to do is go to StreamYard.com. That's how I do it. Go on Safari and go StreamYard.com. It's not an app or anything. But as she mentioned earlier, it's okay, Anjanette. You don't have to apologize. I can fill the void with talking. But as she said earlier, she was talking about interchangeable hooks. Some of the ones that she found looked like interchangeable hooks, and we thought that was awesome. But some of the ones that still can't share. Oh yeah, that's true. Well, you can get on StreamYard on your phone, and then we can pull your computer up too, and then you can just get down off your phone if that's what you want to do. If not, it's okay. I can talk. I talk all day long on a telephone, taking orders. orders for food and having people stress me out about their orders sometimes. Oh, you have the lighted interchangeable hooks. That sounds awesome. Send me a picture of that to my email. I would like to see that. I have a couple of lighted hooks, but oh, she'll let me talk. That's fine. I have a couple of lighted hooks, but I don't like the shape of them. They're too wide. Like they're flat, which I know like these hooks, they're flat, you know, where your thumb rest is, but they're too wide with where they're flat at. AJ says, hey, Tammy, nice to meet you. Well, she said hi, not hey, but anyways. Yeah, I used to go live by myself all the time and just talk to myself. Well, I mean, technically I wasn't talking to myself, but that's what it seemed like because there's nobody in the room. Oh, goodness. I stopped doing that because, well, for one, life got hectic, and for two, I just don't really have time. Let's see. I looked at some of those, Tammy. What do you think of them? That's what Sanja asked. I mean, the light is cool on them and everything, but it was just too thick for too wide and too thick in the width of it. No, hush. Don't start, Garfield. Let's see. Anjanette says, I love my lighted hooks, but never found a reliable interchangeable set. Someone sent me each size of the regular ones except for one. I love them for amigurumi. I bet. And dark yarns, that would be awesome to use the light for. Oh, excuse me. I like them. They worked in the dark. Yeah, you should crochet without bothering anybody. I don't remember what sizes I have. I think I have a G, H, and I in them. I know two of them were gifted to me, and the other one I bought. What? Ow, don't do that. He just clawed me. Come here. Come here. Come on. What are you doing? You want to get up here and say hi? You're being so good sitting in my chair. Come here. Tell them hi. Say hi, YouTube. Say hi, YouTube. He is very clawsy right now. No, don't you mess with that. Don't. Nah. You messed that up. I use mine for all the black yarn my daughter loves. I can imagine. See, I have a 6mm lighted hook. I love it on smooth, non-splitty yarn, but on other types of yarn it catches. Yeah. And see, that's the thing. I think, no matter what anybody says, I think certain hooks are made for certain ways to hold them. Kathy says, hey, Garfield, but you messed it up and had to get down before she could say hey to you. Sorry. I talk to him like that all the time. But to me, the ones that are wider here, where the thumb rest is for the people that hold it the way that I don't hold it. I can't hold my hook like this. I try. I try just to see. And I go very slow at it. I cannot see how y'all do that. But now I have a few videos of me crocheting left-handed, and that's how I hold my hook left-handed because I cannot hold it like a pencil. He's so pretty. He's so mean. Like where he scratched me at, I have little sores already. But I've tried I only tried the crocheting left-handed because my sister's left-handed and I wanted to teach her how, but I haven't done that in a while. I might start that back up, but I can't crochet with it like that. Yeah. So I actually hold the hook in my left hand like this, but that's in my left hand. Nisi says, I'm heading out. It was great catching up with you and AJ live. Yes. Thank you for coming. See you later, Nisi. But I think that the ones that are wider, let me find my camera, the wider here are for people who hold it like a knife. I hold mine like a pencil. So when I hold it like that, it digs into my finger, the ones that are really wide right through there. And so it digs in my finger because that's how I hold my hook when I crochet. I hold it like that. That's how I crochet. I cannot crochet the other way. I do know that I tell this story a lot too. Whenever the first time I learned to Tunisian, it's a no-go. Yeah. Say, have a good day, Nisi. Hope you can come and see the replay sometimes. Yes. Oh, it's not good. I thought you said it's a no-go. Yeah, I try it from time to time, but it doesn't really work out for me. Like I feel like I'm going super slow. But the first time that I ever Tunisian crocheted, you know, you got to hold it. What are you doing, sir? Really? Sir, you're blocking my camera. Don't show cat bits. Come on now. Get off my table. You know better. He knows better. I have to clean my table off anyway, so don't come at me with that. Cats don't belong on the tables. But yeah, the first time I Tunisian crocheted, I thought that I broke my hand of crochet somehow because I was crocheting like this. And I felt like I was not getting anywhere, that I was not getting anything done. And I really thought I messed up crocheting Tunisian. But I didn't. It's just all in my head. But I realized that I was holding my hook like this. But see, I don't go as fast. And it's probably because, you know, let's see, I can't pencil hold to save my life. It's pretty sad. And you know what? To be honest, I don't even know if it was the way I was taught, because I tried to teach my sister, the one, because I have 3 sisters. One of them is left-handed, but the one that I taught, she was asking me, do I have to hold my hook like that? I was like, no, you can hold it however you want. She said, because I can't do this. So she actually is a knife holder, which she made 2 hats and then quit crocheting. But I practice it from time to time just to see. And I guess if that muscle memory was there, I could get faster at it. Because I'd be watching people crocheting like this, and they're fast at it. But I really think that some hooks are made for people who knife hold versus pencil hold. What are you playing with? Oh, dude, really? That's messed up. No, sir. Give that to me. Can't have nothing nice. But the lady, I always say that. My cousin is the one who taught me how to crochet, and I don't even know if she's a pencil holder or a knife holder, to be honest. I was 15 when she taught me, and I just started crocheting like this. And you know, I see people, they wrap it around their hands and fingers, which I do that when I'm knitting because, Cats are thieves. Exactly. Yeah, he stole it right off the table. That's why it was on my table. But it's okay. Nothing too important. I don't know where my thought was going on that last sentence I said, so it's okay. Oh, wrapping yarn. That's what I was talking about. Only to knit do I wrap it because I still can't get the right tension just holding it the same way that I do crocheting because it is different. If y'all know how to knit as well, I pretend knit. I know the knit stitch and the purl stitch. That's all I know. So anything interesting happened to anyone here lately? Any exciting news? Aiden passed to the 8th grade. His last day of school, he made it himself as Thursday, but the official last day of school was yesterday, which they weren't taking attendance these last 2 weeks anyways. It's hard to believe. When I started my channel, my child was in the 3rd grade, I think. 2020, 3rd grade. No, he was in the 4th grade. Now he's about to be in the 7th grade. I mean, 8th grade. Going into the 8th grade. What? And I hope he does not grow anymore over the summer. He is 5'11" and a half. I already thought he hit 6 foot, but he's not. He's 5'11" and a half. I make him stand on the sidewalk and I stand on the porch so that we are eye level. My granddaughter is a 12th grader now. Oh, and she has a GPA of 4.0. Oh, that is amazing. My GPA, I think, was a 3.4. If I'm remembering correctly. That was 21 years ago. That's amazing. I tried. But there was just some things that history history was, and it's crazy that we're doing the history of crochet hooks. History was my worst subject. Like, I tried my hardest in history, and I did. I think my last year of history, I had a high B or low B. Can't really remember, but that's history was what made me my GPA go down. There were certain times, though, of history that that held my attention, and then the others, it just, nah. See, I was a 3.0, but I graduated in 84. Oh, wow, you graduated a year before I was born. Sorry to make you feel old, but just saying. I was born in 85. I was in the honor society. So I think I had a fairly decent B in history because if I had anything under a B, I had to, leave the honor society. But I graduated in the honor society. Anatomy almost got me too, man. That's okay. My daughter was 86. Aw. My brother graduated in 84 is what Anjanette says. She was in 88. Well, I graduated in '03, 21 years ago. It's hard to believe that, you know. Once you leave school, it's like time just goes shoo, right on by. Is that the price of having to live in the real world? Time just flies by. I wish my refrigerator would go ahead and go off. It's so loud. I don't know if y'all can hear that. I went to a trade school, went to state composition, got 11th place out of two. Oh, awesome. There we go. Anjanette's back. I was just about to say, are you coming back yet, girl?
That's why I wasn't talking much.
Oh, you went to cosmetology school. Okay. My sister did as well, but she didn't finish because she found out she didn't like people as much as she thought she could.
That's funny. My daughter was going to, and that's pretty much the same reason.
She said that this guy walked in and asked for a haircut, and she was like, "So how do you want it?" He said, "I don't care, just cut my hair." And she said, "Okay." I said, "You know what I would have done?" Yeah, that's what I would have done. Tammy says, "Welcome back."
I said thank you,
Oh,
but you were talking, which is fine. I'm setting up so I can actually chat in the chat from here real quick because it's just a couple buttons.
mm-hmm.
And then I should be ready to go. And let's cross our fingers.
Yeah, because y'all really need to see these crochet hooks. I cannot emphasize that enough. Oh, excuse me.
I've been
Sorry,
doing everything I can to clean off my computer so this will stop happening, but I still have a lot to go. So hopefully within a month or two, I will be to where I don't have these issues.
Right.
I was just telling my husband, so I got to put stuff on my external drive. Then I'm like, oh, I got to clean off the external drive before I can put more. So, yeah. Just tedious little stuff. Moving the right stuff, the right files, leaving the ones on that I'm going to use all the time, and, you know, all the fun stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, got that set up. Let me get... Well, I'm definitely going to do the most important page first. It has all the pretty hooks on it.
Yes. And while you're talking, I'm going to mute myself and visit the bathroom, which I'm glad I didn't a while ago because y'all would have seen an empty chair and y'all would have thought, oh no, Anjanette's gone and so is Kaylin.
Okay, so let me come back. The biggest problem is moving between tabs like I'm having right now. So hold on.
Oh, it disappeared again. I guess I have to wait again. She might have too many tabs open. Sometimes that'll slow a computer down. Okay, making sure that it doesn't say that she's up there yet. So you found out you didn't like people as much as you thought you could too? That's not how my sister said it, but that's how I say it. But yeah, I would have took buzzers to his head with no guard. That's what I would have done. and people, they go to the cosmetology school for them to have practice. So practice getting in, haircuts and stuff like that. You don't have to be rude just because you know that. Yeah, old ladies are mean. Oh my goodness. Yeah. You don't have to be mean just because you know that they're students or, you're getting a discount on your haircut anyways because they're in training. So, I mean, you don't have to be like that. I was talking about getting my haircut today. Well, I mean, today I was talking about it, not that I was going to get it cut today. Because it gets on my nerves. It's at a length where if I wear it down, I can't be at work. And then when I put it up, it just doesn't want to stay up. It falls down. So I have to tighten my hair tie, and that makes my head hurt. And if I cut it too short, then it's not enough to be able to get it off my hair, off my neck and be cool. But we were talking about hair today and haircuts and stuff like that at work. Let me make sure again that, okay, it still doesn't say that she's there or anything. Sometimes it doesn't say on the guest that somebody's there. It looks like my Wi-Fi is back on my computer, but that doesn't mean anything. We might have to make a part 2 of this part 2 like we did the part 1 because AJ's computer. Because I really do need to go to potty. Oh goodness. Think I'm losing the crowd. I only got 4 people in here now. It did say 7. I don't know what to talk about now. I'm all talked up. I heard Anjanette say earlier that Kathy had a tornado close by. What day was that? Friday? Yeah, Friday night. There was a tornado about 35 miles away from us, and it was heading. No, it was maybe 45 miles. Something. It takes 30 minutes. Oh, Anjanette's right here. Okay. There she is. I see it now. I'm sorry. I was talking away.
Okay. I'm sorry. I had to go between tabs, and my computer, if you hit the wrong place when you're trying to reopen a tab, it X's it out.
Oh.
And then I couldn't find the link because the whole sync between Facebook and your phone and all of that, I have to do it every single time I open Facebook. So it wouldn't give me the link. So then I had to wait for history to pull it up. And it's just working slow right now because of everything that's happened. So
yeah.
Let me do this again because that's the thing. I've got to go between the tabs in order to share it. This should be it, and you should be able to go potty now.
Yeah. Sandra says she graduated in 1986, and then Tammy says that she graduated and worked
2 years
years
before me. 2 years before me, Sandra. Okay, it's there waiting for you.
Okay, I see. That's where it doesn't tell me because I kept looking to make sure. All right.
There.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me go to layout. Make it big so that y'all won't notice that I'm gone. But I'm muting my mic now, okay?
Okay. Now, if for some reason I get kicked off, I'm not on the tab of the room. So, Kathy, please let me know since I won't be able to hear her talking back. And I can't see what you guys are writing right now, just so you know. So, where are my notes? That would be helpful. This is the mid-19th century British crochet hooks. Early British steel crochet hooks were manufactured from steel wire using the same methods as sewing needles. They differed because one side was removed to make a hook. And if you look at those really teeny tiny hooks, you can tell how that was a sewing needle at first, and they cut the other side off. I'd make it bigger, but as I noticed last time, I really couldn't make it big enough for you to see. But if you also look at these are the ones that we were talking about, look like they were interchangeable hooks. It doesn't say anything about that in the article, but that's what it looks like. But it does talk about how they make these handles to make them steadier. Actually, I'm going to put you on so I can see you guys making comments to make sure I know that I'm here. Or I hear myself anyway. There we go. Let's make sure. There we go. Okay,
I'm back.
Okay. I didn't have to do that then. There we go. Okay, so I need to shut that off on here because I'm going to hear it. There we go. Sorry, guys. This is real life here now.
Yes, totally.
I said that. Reddick, Worcestershire in England is where the hook making was centered in, and it extended about a 10-mile radius around that area. In 1847 was the first British patents for the hooks were issued. Individual families made needles from start to finish. Some families and family-owned companies were specializing in certain types of hooks. Trying to see. Sorry, my notes are all over the place. And as you can tell, I don't have full sentences written out. So by 1900, the companies had transformed into businesses with corporate structures. And before that, that's where I wasn't supposed to read yet, family businesses that introduced in the hook designs and production, there are different family names. One of them was the John Burgess and Sons I'm going to have to read down below because I cannot read my notes on this part. I will go back up for you to see those in just a second.
Did you scribble too fast?
Yes, in Birmingham. In Birmingham, that was easy enough. And I picked out John Burgess because I happen to have a part of my family. Their last name is Burgess, but it's by marriage. But there's a whole bunch of different families listed here. And it happens to work because also, which I'm going to move down to these other hooks now because I'm reading under there. And you can see those interchangeable ones are still at the top there, or at least one of them is. Even if that's not what they were meant to be, but that's what it reminds me of, is interchangeable. But some of the families, besides doing crochet hooks, also did sewing needles, which makes sense if crochet hooks were made out of like sewing needles. I'll pull
Right.
that up in a minute. That were cut on the other side. But then they also did things like toys. So toys and something that's called smallware. And from when that started to over the next 50 years, that's how it was done. But then some of these family-owned businesses started to close because the owner passed away. So then by 1900, the companies had transformed into businesses with corporate structures. Michael T. Morrell, he wrote a book about the history and the description of needle making. And that was written in or at least published in 1862. And there's steel hooks and all kinds of needles for fancy work are made in Reddish by workmen who come from long it's a Long Creden in Buckinghamshire, I think. I don't know how to say Buckinghamshire or however they say it. Buckinghamshire.
Maybe. I don't know.
And supply the manufacturers with the hooks. And these goods are made by hand in private houses. And Abel Morrell was the first to make a crochet hooks by stamp and press, and for which the London house unfairly obtained a patent for. So the first hook and stamp press was by Abel Morrell, but that was the patent was stolen from them by how this reads, by the London house. And let me move this up a little bit so you can see the bottom hooks now. Not that I don't think it matters because I'm reading down a ways from it. Crochet hooks for lace making were mounted in a handle, and that you held the shaft tightly, and that kept the hook from rotating out of position. And I believe that's still up here because that looks like the type made out of the wire, the top ones that look like they were interchangeable.
Yeah.
But then if you go down some, there's still a couple more down below. But basically the handles were made so that the hooks would stop rotating and stay in one spot. Handles were made in dizzying variety of styles. I can't remember if there's more hooks down here. During the second half of the 19th century. Crochet hooks underwent many changes in design and style, advances in steel and manufacturing techniques. Patents used were the most helpful method for dating the hooks. Hooks to handles. Some early crochet hooks incorporated compression fittings to hold the shaft of the hook securely. Most incorporated a brass fitting because brass was softer than steel and would be worked into the small complex pieces more easily. Okay, do you still have more to show? I need to go down farther. Sorry, I'm trying to look in two different places at one time. These are the ones I love. The ones with the pearls on the end. And the little gemstones like those, I think, are so gorgeous. George Chambers patented a split shank fitting with the hook inserted into the split and a ring around the shank pushed down to hold it in place. The fitting held the hook firmly, but the ring could be dislodged accidentally. The next year, a patent issued to John Connie used a brass threaded fitting. For some, the bone in the handle would be threaded. In these cases, to prevent the fitting from being loosened accidentally, a pinhead was added to the needle. In 1848, George Chambers was granted another patent that used a metal threaded collet, which is a band or a sleeve made of brass. It compressed the fitting around the shank of the hook and could not be loosened accidentally. The collect style, although expansive to produce, remained in production for the rest of the century as a handle for sets of hooks. Let me go down. There we go. Containing multiple size needles. About 1860, steel replaced brass in the collet, making for a more durable fitting. But you can see the brass there.
Yeah.
Because the darker is the steel, and then the brownish is the brass. It says underneath this picture, it says open wire handled crochet hooks with patents from 1866 to 1877 were still being advertised in London in 1888. Patent marks were sometimes stamped on the brass collar, top to bottom. On the top, you have the basic open wire handle, duplex hook with large hook at one end and small hook at the other. A cap stamped with a patent date was provided to cover the hook not being used. Scalloped handle with short needle. Then you have the scalloped handle with long needle, and then you have the twisted handle. Now, I didn't realize that it told you the different hooks underneath the pictures. I was so busy with all the wording. Let me go up real quick, and I can tell you what all these hooks are then real quick, considering that they're so cool. I'm sure you want to know what they are.
For real.
And plus, it's a very lighter, they use lighter text. So for a while there, I didn't even see the text. Must be from getting old.
Yeah, could be.
Until I opened it up on my phone. On my phone, I can see it. For some reason, on the computer, I can't see it that well. Anyway, bone crochet hook handles with compression fittings to hold the needle. Top to bottom, the George Chambers 1847 split brass fitting with brass ring. Then you have John Connie 1848 threaded bone and threaded brass fitting. Note pinhead on hook. Then you have another George Chambers 1848 threaded brass collet. Collection and photos courtesy of Nancy Nearing, which is who you were talking about before.
Right, yeah.
And then I'll come down to this one. Early British crochet hooks made from 1847 to 1900 differed mostly in the handles used to hold the crochet needles. Top to bottom, the first three feature compression fittings on bone handles. The fourth and fifth have coiled handles. The sixth, seventh, and eighth have an open wire handles. And the last three have stamped brass handles.
Those are my favorite.
The only thing about those, because they look like they're flat, I would think that they would cut into your hand.
Oh, yeah, they probably would, but I think those are the coolest, though.
Yeah, I still like the
That's
ones
why we
with.
got the yarn back.
Okay, I'm not saying that. I still like the ones with the pearls and that on the end.
Oh yeah,
But
those are
I think
pretty
that the
too.
ones between that would be the most comfortable to
Yeah,
wear.
probably.
Did you hear what he said? I
No,
thought I
I
heard
didn't.
you laugh. Okay.
I did laugh, but I laughed at the fact that you said I'm not saying that.
Well, he basically said that's how they hand dyed the yarn back then.
Oh.
Anyway,
Oh. Did you freeze again? She went silent. Ow. Ow. Is she frozen? Well, y'all can't see because.
I formed a show.
Oh, hold on. It's doing something.
I don't like it when you don't want to move for me. Giving the computer a second because the page is. I'm getting the blue circle that I call
Yeah,
the blue circle of death, but I don't want
I
it to be that right now. So
I can hear you now. I couldn't hear you a minute ago.
come on.
Can y'all hear me? Maybe those are why we have a knife grip. Oh, why am I? I don't know why I'm sideways. See if that fixes it. Nope. My phone is. I don't know why it's done that on me. My lock is not in place. Okay, Sandra can hear me. I think it would be so cool to try out hooks made in each of those styles. Yes, it would be. See, I can hear you and you are sideways. Yeah, I can do that. Let's see if I turn it back. Will it turn me? Yeah, there we go. I don't know why it had me sideways like that. Anyways, I think it would be cool to like see and work with all of those. That would be cool. Excuse me. Trying to finish these socks. They're not for an order or anything, but now you're good. Yeah. Okay. Anjanette's in the chat. I could hear you for a minute and then you went away again. And then I said to the people, oh, you're here. Sorry.
I'm
It's
like, no,
different on the
I'm
phone.
here. Sorry about that again, guys. I was moving the page too much, I guess. It didn't like that.
Yeah, you had went out and then I was like, can y'all, is she frozen? I was like, oh, yeah, never mind. Y'all can't tell because y'all can't see her either.
I think it's a combination of my computer and we need to have them come out and check the wires because one of my apps keeps telling me that the Wi-Fi connection isn't strong enough
Oh,
for
okay,
it
I
to
gotcha.
completely open all the way. So, and when I checked and I cleaned stuff off of here, it says I've got plenty of memory. So, although at times it tells me that I don't, and I think that has to do with whatever's going on with the Wi-Fi. So,
Okay.
I can try again to show you the remaining ones if you would like, or
Yeah,
describe what the ones you've seen, but the remaining ones I haven't told you about.
yeah.
Okay. So I got that there. I don't know how this page closed on me a minute ago, so I think my cursor just went all over while I was trying to get it to work. At least it doesn't take long to get back once I hit it through the history thing. Okay. Let me know when you put it up.
Okay, it's up.
Okay, thank you. That way I don't
You're
have to go back and forth and all of that. So this shows the coiled handle crochet hooks were first patented by John Shrimpton in 1862 in a variety of styles. Top to bottom, basic coiled handle in steel, duplex hook with large hook at one end and small hook at other. Brass cap stamped with hook patent date was provided to cover the hook not being used. Coiled handle in steel with glass paperweight end. That's my favorite. Well, no, the next one is coiled handle in brass with glass. Oh, that is a paperweight. I kept thinking it was a pearl. That's paperweight.
Oh,
Glass
cool.
paperweight end. I'm sure that's how they were trying to weight them down, maybe. Needle end folds back and wraps around itself. Finer steel wire was used to wrap the handle. And I believe I already told you about all of these. Maybe not. I can't remember which one I started with because I started down then went back up. I think it was these though. Open
Yeah, I
wire
think
handle
so.
crochet hooks. Yeah. The metal of choice, steel was manufactured only in small batches before Henry Bessemer developed and patented a method of mass production in 1856. By 1860, large quantities of steel were being produced by the Bessemer process. Now let me just sit on these for you while I finish. I lost it on here. There we go. Produced by Bessemer process. There we go. Furthermore, the metal's composition could be varied to make steel with different properties. Hard steel was made for tools that could bend and stamp parts made from brass, and softer steel. John Shrimpton patented a crochet hook in 1862 that used wire tightly coiled over a long shaft. Design patents were in effect for just 3 years, so other crochet hook manufacturers quickly adopted the idea. The style is found with either brass or steel handle wire. Some have decorative ends, including glass paperweights. The coiled handle crochet hooks still suffered from the problem of the hook rotating out of position as the crocheter worked. The last patents for this style were used about 1871, and production may not have continued much after that. In 1866, Zacchaeus Shrimpton introduced two open wire handled crochet hooks, and that's these type. And several companies soon produced dozens of variations. This style had the great advantage of not rotating as the needle worker crocheted. Although most Although made mostly of steel, the hooks and handles were still assembled with soft brass collars. The steel handles were normally coated with black lacquer to prevent rust. I wondered why they were so dark.
Yeah.
Variations in addition to the handle shape included hooks for which the handle was made of brass, sliding hooks whose shaft could be drawn up between the sides of the handle, and duplex hooks with each end holding a hook of a different size. The duplex style was popular for many years, and duplex style crochet hooks were still being advertised in the 1888 Olney, Amsden and Sons General List, a London haberdashery wholesale catalog. I always love that word, haberdashery. So crochet hooks with stamped brass or, oh, I don't want to move it. I want to show it to you. Stamped brass or stamped steel handles, most with surface design incorporating trademarks and/or text, top to bottom. Stamped the school J.B. and Sons patent by John Burgess and Sons. The needle is permanently mounted in the brass handle. Sliding needle with hand-shaped mechanism stamped Z, S, and S by Zacchaeus Shrimpton and Sons. Sliding needle, Queen Victoria commemorative hook, handle stamped with text born 1819, crowned 1838, married 1840, jubilee 1887. And portrait of Queen Victoria on mechanism on the back. Sliding needle with handle, finial stamped with lighthouse, Morris and Yemen's trademark. M&Y and 3.5-inch size duplex hook with steel handle. The same design also was made in brass. The unusual hook retracts into the handle. Quad hook by Charles Mills and Sons with mechanism for 2 hooks on one side and separate identical mechanism for 2 more hooks on the opposite side. Wow, that's kind of different.
Yeah.
So that bottom one, you could have 2 hooks on either side. I think you can pull it out and then move it around is what it looks like. Because if you look in the middle of that handle, actually more towards the right, you can see that hook.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you can see my cursor going around there.
Yeah, I see it.
But you can see that. And this one here is the Queen, the one that was the commemorative one for the Queen. That is so cool.
That is very cool.
And that is it on this one. Oh, they talk about another style, but I think that I went over them reading what's underneath it. So it was hooker's comfort of a shaft and stamp brass handle introduced by William that could incorporate trademarks such as, yeah, those are the ones that I just, read about at the top. So I'm going to stop sharing this, and I just want to show you the picture on the other one. I'm not going to read the whole page, but it's basically a page that's on uncovering the ancient history of bone crochet hooks, how to identify and determine age. Again, I didn't get a lot of useful information off of this page, like how to identify, even though it tells you how to identify, it was just a bunch of gobbledygook, honestly. But the hooks are beautiful.
Gobbledygook.
That's what I was considering it. I wasn't getting what I wanted out of it. You guys can go and read it sometime if you want, but it's 9:48. We've been on here for over an hour and a half. I don't want to take up a lot more of your time. I just want to show you the hooks because they are so cool. Okay. Let me know when you got them. Okay. So this here just says March 11th, 2023 by Lorelei. I believe that's just a handle of a bone crochet hook with whatever they were making underneath it. I don't know if you can see that very clearly.
I can. I like that design. It kind of looks like a granny square.
It kind of. And then there's these hooks here. And these are ones I was telling Kaylin. I wonder how they use the ones that look like they have like shells on the end. How they're rounded there.
Those could be used like for Lisette forks, probably.
With what?
Lisette forks.
Well, yeah, but it calls them hooks. When in all the reading that I did that was around this picture, it calls all this. It says, what was the first crochet hook? So it was used in some manner to make a fabric.
Well, even a Lisette fork kind of makes a fabric.
Yeah, that's
Well,
true. That's true. But I didn't know because they could be broken down because it looks like, the material was kind of delicate. Maybe it
yeah,
had, the
like
different
yeah,
types of hooks at the top that you could just wrap it around and weave it as you go.
probably.
I don't know. But you can definitely tell these middle ones here are bone.
Right.
That reddish one, I wonder if that might even be some kind of ivory. And the same with the yellowish one next to it.
Could be.
And I can't tell if these two end ones, if they're wood or if they're, I'm assuming they're bone because this is all about bone hooks.
Yeah.
So it's just fascinating. I would love someday to maybe go to some kind of a museum where they show, you know, crochet hooks.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Because,
Sandra said that she would want to try all those hooks.
yeah, it basically says the modern crochet hook, which came into its own in England in the 1830s, is a reflection of the progress made in the art of crochet in the 1830s. Previously, the crochet hook was made up of two basic materials: a flat hook for shepherd's knitting and a hook needle for tambour embroidery, both
Yeah.
of which were popular for a long time. And that they were made of wood, bone, and metal. Everything that I basically read on the other one is what she goes into here.
Right.
Traditional crochet hook is an essential tool for any crafter, because then she goes straight away into the 20, where we are pretty much. But I can't remember if there's another picture on here. I'm stuck. I hope that you guys can still hear me.
Yeah, you're still there.
Okay. Let me see. Oh, I thought I had that page on my phone, but I'm not seeing it. There we go. I can move it now. Slowly. Oh, yeah. She goes into a more pretty much modern hook. Even though it's a small tip at the end, that's like a wooden one now.
Oh yeah.
And then she goes into the crochet hooks history of boy. So it was established in 1906 in Chicago. Um, Boy introduced the first complete line of steel crochet hooks made in the United States in 1917.
I have an old boy hook. I don't know when it's from though.
Cool. Sizes are intended to work on thread and range in length from size 1 to size 16. I personally, I would love to find the history of Susan Bates.
Yeah.
Boy Crochet's Master Crochet Hook Set is one of the most comprehensive in terms of all types of crochet hook sets available. And then they also have Afghan hooks, which I have a couple of those. But that's pretty much, they go into all the different hooks that we have now. And then they talk about old UK crochet hook sizes. And old UK crochet hook sizes were measured in letters, with sizes ranging from finest to coarsest. From steel to 19, steel hooks were often used for making lace and fine pieces, with larger hooks such as size 19 were used for making heavier items such as blankets and rugs. Steel hooks were traditionally made of metal, while larger sizes could be made of wood, bone, plastic, or metal. Today, the old UK sizes are still used in some places, but they have been largely replaced by metric sizes, which are the most common sizes used today.
Right.
Crochet hook is all that is required to create a simple pattern, which is so cool. That's why I love crochet.
Yes.
Crochet hooks can be acquired in a variety of styles and sizes, and a project's hook can be determined by a number of factors, which we all know all about this kind of stuff now. So
Right. Yes.
talking about, you need a bigger hook for chunky yarn,
Mm-hmm.
understanding crochet hook sizes UK versus US, When it comes to crochet hook sizes, there are some difference between the patterns in the United Kingdom and the United States. The metric system in millimeters is used by UK and European patterns, whereas the numbered system is used by US patterns. As an example, a size H crochet hook, for example, is 5 millimeters in the United Kingdom, but 8 millimeters in the United States. I don't know if that 8 stands for millimeters, though, in the US. It just stands as for a number 8.
Yeah, for number 8.
So I don't know why. I think she made a mistake there. A G
Yeah.
crochet hook, on the other hand, is a size 6 in the United States, whereas an 8 millimeter hook is available in the United Kingdom. There you go. She must have put 8 millimeter twice and didn't realize it.
Yeah.
Didn't get edited. Using a crochet hook and knitting needle gauge tool to measure the size of your crochet hook is a good way to ensure that you are using the correct size. It is fitted with holes that are drilled to a specific millimeters. Insert your hook into the hole and wait for it to fit until you know exactly what the size of your crochet hook is. It is critical to understand the size of your crochet hook in order to finish your project on time. We all know that. Personally, I go by millimeters. I don't go by the US sizes. I mean, I
I go by the
originally
letter.
did when I first learned. I went by the letter. I never went by the number, the US number. I used to
Yeah.
go by the letter. But now I
Yeah.
just go by millimeter because all patterns have it, and to me it's just easier.
Yeah, sometimes it is.
Or at least most there's more patterns that have it than don't, should say.
Right, yeah.
Antique pattern library crochet hooks are a great way to add a touch of vintage charm to your next project. So I guess if you had an antique crochet hook, you could show it with what you're making or try to use one. They are perfect for making intricate doilies, lace, and other delicate items. For those who are looking for a unique and special way to crochet, antique pattern library crochet hooks are a great choice. I've never heard of antique pattern library crochet hooks before. I wonder if they're a duplicate or something. These hooks are made, I guess I should have read more. These hooks are made of brass or steel and come in a variety of sizes and shapes. Never heard of that. I guess it's a brand. Never heard of it before. And that is the end. We made it.
I'm still here. I had to get up. My legs are hurting.
Thank you so much, everybody, for dealing with all of my mix-ups tonight. Technical difficulties as starting to get to be usual. Would you guys like to try all those hooks? I would, asked Sanja. I would like to try some of them. I don't know about all of them. The ones that look like they would cut me, I don't know if I'd want to use those. But then again, I mean, it would be cool to try. I would love to try a bone one or one made out of ivory. I think that would be cool.
Yeah, well.
Now, in something that I read, and I was telling this to Kaylin earlier, it's in my notes somewhere, but you guys know I went away from my notes. And I think it was in that last article because I didn't read all of the stuff that I got from hers. Let me see. Yeah, History of Bone. She said that, okay, first of all, the popular where the bones of various animals were used, and the ones that she listed were cows, goats, sheep, and more.
Oh, wow.
And then she said that bone hooks are still popular today.
Yeah.
And my question is, have you ever seen a bone crochet hook then, since they're supposedly still, quote, popular today? I mean, I've been crocheting since I was like 8 and I'm 54, and I have yet to see a bone crochet hook.
Right.
So I'm just interested. Have any of you guys seen one? I mean, the way
my answer was probably because, like if things weren't readily available in that area.
Yeah, like maybe somewhere else in some other country or something. But she makes it sound like, they're available to purchase
everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, and I've never seen them or heard of them until I started, I mean,
The research.
the first time I heard of one was watching Crystal's video,
Right. Yeah.
which it made sense that crochet hooks had been made out of bone. Um, but other than that, ivory made a lot of sense to me too, because of
Right. Yeah.
especially way back,
Yeah.
they used a lot of ivory, which of course I don't want to see one now.
Right. No.
So because ivory is not supposed to be used unless it comes from an one
A
of the
deceased animal.
yeah. But I was
Yeah.
trying to think if elephants were the only ones who had ivory tusks.
No. Rhinos.
I was going to
Those.
say I think rhinos do too. So and
Yeah.
plus there's maybe I don't know if the walruses is ivory or not.
I'm not sure.
But the only way they're supposed to be able to get it, which makes it even more rare, is if they are deceased. So
Yeah. That's
yeah,
the only way. And that's why I don't like silk, because they kill the silkworm to get the silk. So if anything has silk in it, I won't buy it.
yeah. I mean, I'm about 50-50 there because from what I understand, it would be just like people who have sheep and that they use, you know, their wool. You have ones who treat them right. And then, from my understanding, there are people who have organic silk farms, which doesn't mean that they go out and collect all of the silkworms that they can collect to bring
Hmm.
in and make silk. They find them in nature already making the silk,
Okay.
and then they take it that way.
Well, that sounds better. But the first time, or the one time that I ever saw how they made silk, um, yeah, I was like, I won't ever have silk.
Yeah, I mean, my daughter said the same thing because you guys know she's a vegan, and that's
Yeah.
why I looked into it and I looked it up. And
Now, if it's recycled silk, like the what is that? That darn good yarn, they
uh-huh,
do the recycled saris and stuff like that. Now that I'm okay with, but I still, even though it's recycled, the first time that it was made, you know, by killing the silkworm.
right. Unfortunately, the silkworm dies when they make the silk, and that's what they were born
Hmm.
to do.
Yeah,
So that's why I'm like, I'm fine with it if I could find it organically sourced from
right,
somebody who actually finds it in nature, but not somebody who goes and finds it and collects them all and takes them to their, property and
right,
then breeds them to make more and,
right. Yeah, I got you.
so
God
as
help.
long as they're not being hurt on purpose,
Right. No
I'm
cat
okay.
bits.
And same with sheep. And that's one reason I was really thrilled. And this is a plug back to last month's when Macy was on, that she has switched her hey Maritza, she switched her base so that it's
Right.
made from a more organically sourced company that is nice to the sheep and who doesn't treat
Get
them
down. Get down. Get down.
treat
Stop
them
it.
badly.
Yeah.
So because
More
unfortunately,
what is it? Ethically
ethically
sourced.
sourced, yes, because you have that issue with everything now,
Oh yeah.
honey. I actually used to be a friend with somebody, and I haven't talked to him in a long time. He sent me raw organic honey because he raised bees
Hmm.
and made honey from them. So I
Right.
always knew that his was a good organic, ethically sourced place. Unfortunately, if you buy honey like that in the stores, it's so expensive.
Yeah. That's true.
It's just sad that people have to do the things that they do
Oh yeah.
in order to try to one up everybody else and have more and to be able to sell it,
Yeah.
whatever. But then again, there's a lot of us who can't afford, anything but the cheaper products. So
Yeah.
that's why I like premium acrylic.
Right.
I'm thinking that Mirza may have been saying goodbye, but I'm not sure.
She might have been saying bye.
Okay. Well, it is getting late and the chat has completely stopped.
Yeah.
So we should be, I think, saying goodnight. It's after 10. Oh, I got to take care of the cats.
Mm-hmm.
I promised myself I had so much crochet I have to do tonight before I go to bed. So I
Yeah.
still have stuff to do. Sorry again about all of my technical difficulties. I promise I'm working at getting them fixed.
And I apologize for mine because I had some technical difficulties as well.
I
Sandra
thought you were
says
frozen
not yet,
there for
LOL.
a second. So.
No, I'm trying. I got some skin that's coming off on my thumb. I was trying to get it.
Sorry that I rushed through having to read mine too, but
Oh, you're fine. Sandra says good night, and this was truly interesting. Yes, it was.
well, thank you, Sanja. And again, you guys, before you leave, remember if there's anything you want us to research, please let us know.
Yes, we are willing to research anything.
If there's anything to do with crochet, if
Yeah.
there's anything like that we don't know about, like the dyeing yarn, or we may know a little bit about, but not a lot, and and there's somebody that is a good person to ask to come on and talk about it, and you want to hear about it, let us know about that too.
Yes.
So,
And next month it will be on Anjanette's channel.
yes. And we can't tell you what it's about yet because we're not sure.
We're not sure.
So we will see you next month. We'll let you know the date when we know. And we will see you then. Night, everybody.
Bye, y'all.